What up, y'all? It's your girl Naya Athena, and welcome back to my channel. And yes, it is Monday, ain't it? You already know, so I gotta deliver a movie review for y'all. I finally did see Wicked. I actually saw it twice, so I feel very informed to tell y'all about this movie. I just want to say that, first of all, the sound design, the set, the diversity in the characters, in the cast, even in the extras, like, it was so good. I can tell that they put a lot of work and intricacy into this movie. And I really just want to talk about like how beautiful the movie was, like visually, and just how aesthetically pleasing it was. Like, I just loved everything about it. It kind of reminded me of like Harry Potter, like you know, when you watch the Harry Potter movies, you got Hogwarts and just the whole design of it and how people are so obsessed with it that they literally have Harry Potter World at Disneyland now. Like, I could see that happening for Wick and like the Wizard of Oz, because they really recreated that whole entire world. And I would definitely go somewhere like that. Like, I would go to the Land of Oz excursion. Like, I definitely would do that. So just enjoy some of the background scenes from, you know, the movie, and let me know what you guys think about it. I'm going to come back in with a little bit more commentary later on. So,
are people born wicked?
Now, as someone who has always been a theater kid, I never really seen Wicked, but I always knew of Wicked. Like, I knew of the story, I knew of the characters, I knew the songs, baby. Trust me, I knew Defying Gravity. Hello. But to see the actual thing in its entirety as a recreation, because obviously, you know, Wicked has been around for years and years and years. This was more so of a new rendition of Wicked. But I really love the new renditions of stuff in like the new day and age, because you can capture it so much better with the advancement of technology. So like, the story in itself was it was so good, guys. Like, I even seen a couple hot takes about it literally being the representation of the story of a Black woman. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the casting for Wicked, I was a little confused, because I was like, are they casting this Black woman to hide her Blackness behind the green aspect? But as I watched the movie and as I understood how the plot went, I started to understand that no, this is a story of a Black woman, but they're telling it in a way that is palatable to other cultures who may not understand it or who may not quite get it. So to see it in a different aspect is that I was like, wow, like they really ate this. Like, it was very refreshing to see the story be told in such a aesthetic way, where maybe, you know, people might just understand where we as Black women are coming from without us having to fully explain it over and over and over again, because that is something that we do often. Let's just talk about Cynthia for a second. She did a phenomenal job. Her voice is beautiful. Ariana Grande did a phenomenal job. Her voice has always been beautiful. And honestly, Ariana Grande she really embodied this role. And I know a lot of people have been showing videos of how she always wanted to be Glinda on Wicked. And so I'm glad that she was able to manifest that for herself. She did an amazing job, honestly. Like, everyone did their thing. And I'm really proud of the story of Wicked and the execution of it and everything else.
Something bad is happening in Oz.
I also loved the other aspects of the plots, to where even when they were talking about how the animals who were speaking were being silenced and being told all of these derogatory things, and how people were saying animals should be seen and not heard. Like, that was such a perfect metaphor for what we the culture, I'm gonna just say that, we the culture go through. And it was just, I don't know, like, if you get it, you get it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who aren't Black who are watching this, and it probably went right over their head. And I just want y'all to really understand that this entire theme is a metaphor for our Black culture and the things that we experience in our day-to-day life. Like, I don't think y'all really get that, because the way that the animals were being silenced, they were free at one point. They were talking, they were intelligent, they were teaching, they were trying to teach history. And I'm not gonna lie, what Glinda represents, it really did piss me off, because she really embodied that role of the ignorant white woman that isn't aware of her derogatory comments, and how she immediately assumed that Cynthia being, or not Cynthia, I'm gonna say Alphaba. She immediately assumed that Alphaba being green was just so unfortunate, and she's just sorry for her, but she didn't even realize, like, hey, this actually isn't unfortunate. She's the most magical out of all of you, and y'all don't even see that. And it's crazy that they even found her skin tone to be so appalling, considering the fact that they had freaking dwarves and talking animals. It's like, okay, what's the difference here? But that lets you know that, like, they really did harp on the blackness beneath the green. And I just loved how the story was told. And even though it was so annoying to watch Glinda, even like their friendship and like how they formed their friendship over the course of the movie, I was like, okay, she's still not a genuine friend. Like, at the end, yes, she was like, I hope you're happy, but even the way that she became her friend was more so because of Alphaba's empathy and Alphaba's appreciation of what Glinda did for her, the people that she loved, you know what I'm saying, like her sister and stuff. Even though Glinda didn't really do it for her, she just did it to get the guy off of her case so that she can go do what she want to do and succeed at whatever she wants to succeed at, because at the end of the day, all the interest was for her own self. And that was a big part of it too. And I was just like, wow. And she still, I wonder, I didn't know that Wicked was, I didn't know that this was part one. I didn't know that there would be a second part. So knowing that there will be a second part, I'm very excited to see like what happens. Because like I said, I've never seen Wicked before this. I've never seen it in its entirety. So hopefully, we get to get a little bit more context behind what Glinda's mind changed to in part two, and how she developed as a character. And did she develop? Did she get to a point where she could finally understand a little bit more why Glinda was the way that she was and all of the things that Glinda went through? Or did she fall back into her old ways, and because she was with the Wiz and the higher ups now, because they feel like they had that control over her, did she just kind of fall into the trap again? Was she always destined to fall into that trap? Similar to the guy, I forget his name, but the guy that Glinda was with and also Alphaba like had a moment with, he was one way in the beginning. He seemed shallow. He seemed like, oh, I don't care about books. But then as he started to see the terrible things that happened to the animals, he kind of built that empathy for the animals, or maybe it was always there and it just came out a little bit more when they saved that animal that they had caged in their class. So I'm very interested to see the development of all of these characters, because it's like, wow, like this is actually deep stuff, y'all. This is some deep stuff. I'm sure that, because when I think about The Wizard of Oz and how that's like, Wicked is the prequel. So I'm sure that it's going to be a much darker tone to the settings and stuff in part two, because The Wizard of Oz does become controlled and very, very much censored in what they teach the people of Oz in the Emerald City. And isn't it so ironic that Emerald City, a green city where people love the color green, isn't it so ironic that Alphaba was kind of the embodiment of Emerald City? So it's almost kind of saying like, this color, this green, or black, this is really the core of the magic in Oz. The fact that when she got to that point where she thought that, oh, I'm going to meet the Wiz and he's going to accept me, she realized that she didn't need acceptance from him, because he is not the one who had the real power. She is the one who had the power. So it's just a powerful message, a powerful theme, and I really appreciate it. Like, I actually think I might be a stan of Wicked. Like, even knowing the origin of the flying monkeys and knowing that she was the one who created them and freed them from their enslavement under the Emerald City and under the wizard. Like, the fact that she was able to do that thing, and at first she regretted it because she didn't know like if the pain was worth it for them, but they still followed her when she freed herself as well. It was just so beautiful to see and like to really understand it. When you live it, you know, like, wow, like this is really powerful. And that's what I love about musicals that are classic like this. I understand why they're classic, because they're so much deeper than what anybody can understand. And that's why I don't understand why people don't, well, not all people, but you know, those people don't understand like how media and art and stuff is quote unquote political, like, because it's real life. It's just told in a way that is artistic and beautiful and bright and bold and musically, you know, inclined. But that's all I have for this video today. I just really wanted to talk about Wicked and how this is something I would love to see on Broadway. Like, I think this is on my to-see list on Broadway, knowing the story and knowing what it truly means to, you know, be quote unquote wicked. And I did understand that the whole point of the title was saying that everyone is capable of wickedness, but I think it was so much deeper than that, and understanding that to be wicked is to have the privilege to do what you want to do and not worry about how it may affect the next person. And is wicked truly wicked, or is it free? And what is the extent of that? Like, how do you describe wicked? They kind of like redefined the word. It's like taking back the word. And I think that was the biggest thing about Wicked. So I understand why. I understand it. It's just really deeper than that. Like, and you have to really watch it to know, like, okay, this is what it is and this is what it isn't, and this is the message that you're meant to get from it. And there's multiple messages within it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I will see y'all in my next video. Vlogging is going strong. Peace out.